So we've heard from a lot of mothers that they are having trouble understanding their children, that they're really puzzled as to why they do certain things, why they're acting in certain ways, and they're really wanting to understand their children more, and they'd like to know how to do that. And sitting with that question, we just wanted to let people know that actually your children tell you all the time why they do what they do and how they do it and what they love, what they're passionate about, what they believe. They give you all the answers to all those questions. But the thing is, as humans, most of the time when we're listening, we're not listening to understand each other. We're generally listening to either agree or disagree, to either put whatever they're saying or whoever they are into a particular box based on what we know so far, and to say, oh no, that bit I don't agree with, that bit I do agree with, and to compartmentalize them and objectify them pretty much.
That judging spot of our brain is always judging yes, no, true, false. It's always running when we're listening to people speaking.
And because we're busy doing that, we're actually missing out on understanding them as their own unique being and all the things that are really mattering for them. So the practice we're suggesting today is to listen to understand rather than listen to agree or disagree. And we're not saying that listening to agree or disagree is wrong, because sometimes it really has its place. Sometimes when you're in conflict, it can be really helpful to tune into what do I really agree with in what this person's saying, so we can find that bridge. But this is another way of listening so that you can really understand your loved ones.
So that their same words will actually tell you give you the answers that you want to know about your child, what they believe in, what their opinions are on things, what they're passionate about, how they're feeling, what they want, what they need. All of those things are coming up in the conversations that they're having. And if you need more information, if you create your questions from this place, from that mindset of what is this telling me about this person? What am I learning about this person through what they're saying? You'll learn to understand and get to know your children on a whole different level.
And the energy that we're talking about coming from with this is that energy of wonder. It's that place of wonder and curiosity about that person. The same wonder you'd have when you see some particular natural landmark for the first time, and it's awe-inspiring. You want to have that when you come to your child. And as soon as they, start sharing something with you, ask yourself those questions. What is this saying about them? What matters to them right now? What lights them up? And then just get curious, like open up your mind and kind of make it not an intellectual, but a study of who they are.
And the words that they say, the thoughts that they have, they will create awe in you from that space. That, oh my gosh, that this child thinks this, that they have these thoughts, that they have this belief, that they rationalize the world this way, will create a sense of wonder in you if you're open to it.
And if you come from that space of really seeing them, seeing their unique self in this moment, because every moment is new, and we all say and express and feel wondrous things in every moment, and we see them if we're willing to.
So the second piece to this is that you want to be really conscious and aware of what's your story and what's their story, and when you're overlaying your story on top of your child. So if your child is going through a challenging situation or a new situation, often we're coming from a place of empathy and we're wondering, how did they take that disappointment, or how did they interpret that situation? What might they be feeling? Let me step into their shoes for a moment. But quite a lot of the time that can actually trip us up because we get it wrong and we overlay our story on how we would be feeling in that situation and how we would be interpreting the turn of events. And if we're not careful, we can miss the opportunity to understand our children and where they're coming from, and thus be able to support them more fully, because we're overlaying our story and we're making assumptions that it's their story. So they must be feeling, because if it was me, I would be feeling all these sorts of things. And you can launch into your whole support words and what you're going to say and do to help them without actually understanding your child and what's real for them. It's the same thing, check in before you assume that they're carrying the same story as you.
So in essence, it's about kind of being fully innocent to them, like coming to them in this moment with, I don't know anything right now about them in this moment, and I want to receive it, I want to hear it, I want to understand it, without bringing in everything else. Just, I fully want to hear this person and understand their world in this moment.
And the byproduct of all of this is that it will strengthen your connection tenfold with your child.
So go ahead, practice it, and enjoy.
Bye. There was something floating in my coffee.